Good morning. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This morning, we want to go over some things that was said in the channel's news this morning. And I quickly want you to just have a look at one or two things. And do you understand exactly the game that's being played? I want to say this to everybody, all the youths. You have been tricked. Please understand, your PVC is a passport to your enslavement for the next 1,000 years and your generations. But let us go through quickly what they're saying. But before you do, I'll ask you to please go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. It really is important. We need your support. Beg your pardon. Okay. So here we go. Subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Thank you. Notification button, thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. Thank you. Now, let's go forward. There's a place I want you to listen to, about 10 or 15 minutes long, something like that. I want you to hear. This bit is the one I want you to hear. Let's listen now.
After these are Nigerians kidnapped, being held hostage in Nigeria, and they cannot be rescued. And we seem to know where they are. But why they cannot be rescued, many don't know. Now, and efforts are being made. And we have seen, I mean, we are citizens. We read, we hear, we see how that efforts of some committed military men, officers and men who want to do all that they can are being frustrated. And so they know these people are in Sambisa, they're in Sambisa forest. We can't have a plan. So money is being spent, weapons are being acquired, but the result is opposite of what we expect. So naturally, there should be some men and officers who will not like the way the place is being run. However, the point you raised is very important, that we hope this is not an attempt to weed out certain people who probably have voiced their opinions, who are forthright, who are honest, who have said things the way they are, who have probably testified and made certain revelations about the truth of what is happening. Now, we don't want people to be haunted.
I'm going to go back and play that again.
We don't want that. So this process must be followed through in a way that there is no...
To keep tabs on that. We don't know if National Assembly has any oversight.
Now, let me go here again. Let's play that again. I want you to listen to the words. The man, he was very careful with his choice of words. You see? The reason why he was saying what he was saying, those you PVC holders understand though, the military, they rule this nation. Listen to the words here. Let's listen.
To flush out a certain group of... There's so many questions about this headline, if it's anything to go by.
You know, clearly the security situation in this country is not one that anybody is proud of. Just a few minutes ago, we were talking about kids who were kidnapped in 2014, 8 years after. These are Nigerians kidnapped, being held hostage in Nigeria, and they cannot be rescued. And we seem to know where they are. But why they cannot be rescued, many don't know. Now, and efforts are being made. And we have seen, I mean, we are citizens. We read, we hear, we see how that efforts of some committed military men, officers and men who want to do all that they can are being frustrated. And so they know these people are in Sambisa, they're in Sambisa forest. We can't have a plan. So money is being spent, weapons are being acquired, but the result is opposite of what we expect. So naturally, there should be some men and officers who will not like the way the place is being run. However, the point you raised is very important, that we hope this is not an attempt to weed out certain people who probably have voiced their opinions, who are forthright, who are honest, who have said things the way they are, who have probably testified and made certain revelations about the truth of what is happening. Now, we don't want people to be haunted, as it were. We don't want that.
All
so
right,
this
I guess
process
we'll,
must be followed through in a way that there is
hopefully
no...
to keep tabs on that. We don't know if National Assembly has any oversighting role on this one. I guess we'll wait and see. Well, thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sylvester, for that. He's a publisher.
Let us just pause there. I want to read that document to you. Those of you talking about One Nigeria, let us read that document further, because there is more to it. Let's go and read that. Now, here is Arabo. It says here, he's been told to say what to say. So, massive retirement looms in the military as High Command has ordered immediate retirement of all soldiers with divided loyalty or disgruntled or unmotivated personnel in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. They are going to flush out yet more Southerners and Middle Beltons. Are you listening? They are going to flush them out. Watch you. This was contained in a memo signed by the Chief of Defense Administration and Defense Quarters, Rear Admiral Mohammed Nagenu, which was cited by Daily Trust on Wednesday. Now, the memo, which was signed on behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, stated that the disgruntled and unmotivated officers and soldiers no longer exhibit a high level of undivided loyalty and the presence of mind required for military operations. It partly read, in view of the above deployment of such personnel do not benefit the services and are in fact counterproductive. Do you remember I told you that there's 35,000? They've pardoned 35,000 Boko Haram. They are the ones who are going to be filling those posts now. Watch it. It was unclear. Consequently, the identification of disgruntled and unmotivated personnel services are advised to take steps to compulsorily discharge or retire such personnel in line with extant laws. It was unclear last night whether the disgruntled officers were being profiled for involvement in mutiny or any other unwholesome act, but the military high command explained that the order was not targeted at any officer. The Director of Defense Information, Major General Jimmy Akpo, in a telephone interview with the Daily Trust, noted that the memo was to ensure discipline within the armed forces. The senior military officer, who did not disclose the number of officers that would be affected, maintained that it was not targeted at anybody. Major General Akpo queried the leakage of the internal memo, saying such development was normal in order to boost morale of personnel. He explained that no personnel would be retired or made to exit service without rigorous administrative process and procedures being exhausted. Be assured that the Nigerian military is a self-regulating organization that holds tenaciously to the best practices of administration. Yeah, we see that. The so-called memo is saying the obvious, as even civil organizations would not maintain disgruntled elements. It would be recalled that Nigerian Army had, in 2015, immediately after general elections, sacked scores of senior officers over alleged partisanship. Although the then acting director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, now retired Brigadier General, said they were retired based on service exigencies. The Army Council confirmed that the action was taken over officers' alleged involvement in partisan politics. A number of the officers involved have since challenged their retirement in court, but the Army authorities are yet to reinstate those ordered to be reabsorbed. In what it now appears to be like a first sign of what to come, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Irabo, had last week told journalists that many personnel of the armed forces were facing court-martial for conniving with kidnappers, bandits, terrorists, and other criminals. He said that they would be made to face the wrath of the law for being internal saboteurs within the military, but declined to comment on the number of officials facing trial. According to him, there will always be a time when there are those who are bad eggs. There will always be bad eggs. There will always be. So for us, because there are bad eggs, or we envisage that at some point there will be bad eggs, there are filters we've also made. part of those filters is even having to discover those moles and then put them on trial. They were not reported to us. We discovered them. If we didn't have measures to discover for us to have mechanisms for internal checks, how would we have discovered the moles? That we even discover the moles, that tells you to trust that something is being done about them. I'm glad Bernard, told you about the standing court trial. Why did we have to create one in the theaters? Why do we even have to have one here in Abuja in the DHQ garrison? In the DHQ garrison, there is a standing court martial in all divisions of the Nigerian Army. There are standing court martials. Why? Because it is part of our administrative procedures to address the issues, because discipline is the anchor of our existence. Directive will dampen officers' morale, war veteran. Reacting to the development, a retired master warrant officer, Anthony Agbaz, noted that the CDS directive would further dampen the morale of many military officers. I don't know why most of our officers have not faced the reality on the ground. People fighting insurgency now, such as Boko Haram bandits, calling them names is not good at all. You're supposed to encourage them to fight further, not demoralize them. Maybe the CDS, has reasons, but I don't think the development is good. Move misguided. Ill-advised retired colonel. A retired colonel, I think it might be ambassador, I'm not sure. Dr. Okidevebe Roy described the plan of the military as ill-advised and misguided, saying it is tantamount to aggravating the security situation in the country. He stated that if some military officers have divided loyalty or are disgruntled, retiring them is not the solution. In a chat with Daily Trust, Roy, who is a National Secretary, retired members of Nigerian Armed Forces, Remenaf, advised the military to instead invite counselors and psychiatrists to talk to them and explore the possibility of reorientating them. He stated that the military system is already depleted, with the leadership even begging retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces to come and help. When you have this number of personnel that you term disgruntled, if the military cannot solve the disgruntled nature, if the military cannot create counseling line, mediation line, if the military cannot implement interrogation, communication without disgruntled reasoning, is it civilian society you are throwing them to that will solve the problem? Are you not aggravating or adding to the multitude of trained and skilled criminal elements in the society? What efforts has the military done to invite counselors, psychiatrists, people that will come and talk to these people, give them medical attention, look at what is running in their heads? Because we've had suicide cases of military officers that opened fire on colleagues and shot themselves. Are we not agreeing that so many of them are facing myriad of challenges plaguing their hearts? What is happening to their family? Are they not facing the same economic hardship? Are their children in school free of charge? Or do they still pay for school fees for their children? They don't get allowances in the front line. Meanwhile, some of them overstay in the front line 3 years, 4 years, and there is disparity. There is favoritism. Some people are posted to the front line in Zamfara, Borno, Bama, while some people are posted to oil and gas facilities in Bayelsa and Port Harcourt. Some of them also have not been promoted. They are overdue promotion. So there you go. So that gives you an inkling of what is really happening. That gives you an inkling. I just wanted to bring that to attention. I will come and give you further. There's more to discuss in terms of the PVC. But what is really important here was that particular point. The military, this man is a puppet. I'm telling you, this man is a puppet and is being used by the Fulanis to try and actually oppress and deplete more and more of the Middle Belt and Southerners. And he's a Southerner. Irabo is a Southerner. Yeah, Major General Irabo is a Southerner. Irabo, yes, Lucky Irabo is a Southerner. Unless they've given us a false name and is now, we don't know. But anyway, but that name sounds to me a Southerner, Middle Belt and possibly a Southerner, So, but anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Understand that they're trying to, August is still a watchword. Civil war will start. And they're doing everything to prepare the ground. They want to take away people that are going to stop them from doing that. And we have to be after that. So please, set up community action plan against terrorism in your communities. And we might even be to reach, anyway, we'll leave that for now. Some things are left unsaid, but you know where I was about to say next. So here we go. Before I go, please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. I've got to cover a very important topic later on, but here I wanted to just drop this so that people can see that they're using the middle. Everything is being used to oppress and suppress Middle Belt and South, and it's time for us to break free from contraction Nigeria. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you. Bye for now.